Few reality shows have truly captured the hearts of people worldwide. One of them is Pawn Stars. This show masterfully combines entertainment, history, and the art of negotiation. Rick Harrison, co-founder of the show, has dedicated his life to the family pawn shop and tirelessly worked on expanding the business. Behind his success, however, lies a story of personal struggles and legal issues that many may not be aware of. Let's take a look at what Rick Harrison has faced so far and find out what his current situation is. Rick Harrison was born on March 22, 1965, to Richard and Joanne Harrison. He had 3 siblings: Sherry, Joseph, Rick, and Chris. Rick tragically lost his sister Sherry, who had Down syndrome, when she was only 6 years old. His father was a US Navy veteran. At the age of 2, Rick's family moved to San Diego, California, due to his father's work. Rick's life took a turn for the worse when he began suffering from epileptic seizures at 8 years old. These health issues forced him to spend most of his time in bed, where he found solace in books. Rick was also very interested in physics and history, especially stories of the Royal Navy. Rick attended Taft Middle School, but dropped out in 10th grade to sell counterfeit Gucci bags, earning an impressive $3,500 a week. In April 1981, the family moved to Las Vegas after their parents went bankrupt in the real estate business. At just 17 years old, Rick faced another challenge when his girlfriend Kim became pregnant. Although they were young, Rick decided to embrace fatherhood. Unfortunately, they suffered a miscarriage. Nevertheless, they persevered and got married in 1982. They then had their first child, Corey. Corey later became a key figure in Rick's business. 2 years later, they celebrated the arrival of their second child, Adam. Shortly after Adam's birth, however, Rick and Kim split up. Rick didn't stay single for long. Just 9 months later, he started dating Tracy. Their relationship flourished, and they married a year later, raising Corey and Adam together. In 1981, when his father opened a small gold and silver coin shop on Las Vegas Boulevard, Rick's knowledge of history played a crucial role in the store's success. He could tell fascinating stories about each piece. But at night, Rick was busy flipping cars. 5 years later, the family moved to a more spacious location on Fremont Street. But after just 2 years, they had to move again because they lost their lease. In his autobiography, Rick revealed that he and his father had long dreamed of turning their shop into a pawn shop. However, a 1955 law limited the number of pawn shop licenses based on the city's population, making it impossible to fulfill this dream. They were determined to apply for a pawn shop license as soon as the population reached 250,000. Finally, in 1989, after overcoming several legal hurdles, they obtained a pawn shop license. That same year, father and son opened the gold and silver pawn shop at 713 Las Vegas Boulevard South, just off the famous Las Vegas Strip. Initially, father and son focused on selling unique sports memorabilia and unusual historical pieces in their shop. Over time, however, jewelry became their best-selling product. Their business thrived and built a solid reputation in Las Vegas. By 2005, they were loaning out millions annually and earning hundreds of thousands in interest. The following year, the shop became famous for its rare sports memorabilia, including a 2001 Super Bowl ring that belonged to football player Brock Williams. Their remarkable growth and popularity caught the attention of the History Channel, leading to the creation of the show Pawn Stars. The show premiered in July 2009. The series is set in the renowned gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, Nevada, and features a range of vintage and antique items, although jewelry is the most commonly pawned item. The shop boasts an impressive inventory of more than 10,000 items. During filming, the shop is closed to the public, with only select customers allowed inside. The Harrison family quickly won the hearts of viewers. Thanks to viewership and positive reviews, the show enjoyed increasing popularity year after year. In January 2011, it became the most-watched show on the History Channel. Later that year, Rick faced personal changes, including a divorce from his second wife, Tracy. In 2012, he announced his engagement to Deanna Burdett, who was also divorced. Unfortunately, Rick and his family faced a heartbreaking tragedy. In June 2018, Rick lost his father, Richard Harrison, known as the Old Man from the TV show Storage Wars. Rick shared this devastating news with his 245,000 Instagram followers, revealing that his father had passed away from Parkinson's disease. The loss of his father filled Rick with immense sadness and left him solely responsible for caring for the family and running the shop. In 2019, the COVID-19 pandemic hit, shaking Rick's business to its core. Many might assume that pawn shops thrive during this time, as people in financial distress often turn to them for quick cash. However, this wasn't the reality for many shops. Although the business briefly revived at the beginning of the pandemic, it quickly declined. In an interview, Rick from Pawn Stars revealed that COVID-19 threw the pawn industry into chaos. Most people focused only on essential activities, and visiting a pawn shop simply wasn't a priority. The situation worsened for Rick when he had to partially close his shop in March 2020, just as COVID cases were spiking. While the tourist part of the business was closed for a month, lending activities continued. Rick expressed hope for a revival and believed that the economy would recover in about 6 months. Unfortunately, this prediction did not come true. According to reports, the gold and silver pawn shop, which usually earns over $1 million annually, made only $68,000 in 2020 due to the pandemic. Rick faced the heavy burden of divorcing his third wife, Deanna Burdett, whom he married in September 2020. In the divorce documents, Rick stated that their differences in taste, opinions, and preferences made it impossible for them to remain married. In overcoming these challenges, Rick found support from his son Corey and his best friend Austin Chumley Russell, who helped him get through this difficult stage of his life. A year later, Rick married his fourth wife, Amanda Palmer, hoping for a new beginning. However, his problems did not end. In February 2022, Rick faced serious legal issues concerning his own mother, Joanne Rue. Joanne filed a lawsuit against Rick regarding family property and ownership of the gold and silver pawn shop. This lawsuit listed Rick Harrison, the pawn shop, and several related businesses as defendants. Running a family business can be full of challenges, especially when it comes to money. Sadly, this is exactly what happened between Rick and his mother. Their relationship was strained due to financial disputes. In her complaint, Joanne accused Rick of breach of contract. She pointed out that she had been married to his father for nearly 60 years. However, after waking up from a coma in early 2000, Rick forced her to sign over 51% of her share in the pawn shop when she wasn't fully aware of what she was doing. This revelation cast Rick in a negative light, especially among fans who viewed him as a family man. When Richard died in 2018, his wife inherited his 49% share in the pawn shop. However, it seems Rick never provided her with complete financial records, as she claimed she never received proper documentation for more than $585,000 in cash and silver that she believed Richard owned before his death. She stated that Rick stopped sending her regular payments in 2020, which amounted to approximately $35,000 monthly. Joanne sought to have these payments reinstated through the court. Many fans began to worry about Rick's fortune when they learned that Joanne had filed for a temporary restraining order that could prevent him from selling any family property. Rick would also have to give up all control over her assets. In an interview about this case, Rick defended himself by saying, "The allegations are false, and I believe my 81-year-old mother is being influenced by others for their own interests." Joanne's lawsuit reveals a heartbreaking situation. While Rick enjoys a comfortable celebrity life, running the family businesses and finances, I fear and uncertainly wonder each month if I'll be able to cover my medical and personal expenses. Joanne is over 80 years old and faces serious health issues that require constant care, costing up to $17,500 monthly. Rick, taken aback by this claim, says he only learned about his mother's lawsuit through the media. "I've tried to contact her many times in recent months, but without success," he said. Despite many difficulties, Rick's greatest and most painful blow was yet to come. In January 2024, he tragically lost his son Adam. A spokesperson for Clark County, Nevada, confirmed that the 39-year-old man died from a fentanyl and methamphetamine overdose. Concerns grew when a neighbor realized that Adam hadn't been seen since January 17th. His landlord found him unconscious and called the police on January 19th. Rick shared the news of his son's death on Instagram, posting a photo of them together at a restaurant. He wrote, "You will always be in my heart." Rick also expressed his sadness by saying, "The fentanyl crisis in this country must be taken more seriously." In response to Rick's emotional post, many people expressed their condolences. Although Rick has faced many challenges and sorrows in life, he maintains a positive attitude and hides his problems behind a bright smile. Rick even considered running for governor of Nevada in 2022 and mentioned the possibility of running for the US Senate in 2024. Rick proudly became a Kentucky colonel. Rick no longer works full-time at the pawn shop. Instead, he's enjoying the spotlight in the second season of Pawn Stars Do America. Although he faced some legal issues, Rick is enjoying his partial retirement, spending time with his grandchildren and family, and continuing his reality TV career.